everybody. Guess what we're talking about today? hmm Tequila, because it's always tequila time. We're going to talk about Fortaleza. Now, in Mexico, Fortaleza is one of the most least known tequilas in Mexico to the Mexican public. Unless you live in Tequila, Guadalajara, state of Jalisco. Well, they know who Fortaleza is. They're this really small distillery. They don't do a whole lot. We never see any of it. Yeah, don't see any of it because it all gets exported to the US and Europe. And we love it. So, why do we love it so well? Not because it's rare to find, not because it's got some celebrity endorsing it. No, none of that. We love it because it's made the old fashioned way. It's made by hand as much as possible. It's done in small batches because they have to. Um, and it's just a traditional, artisanal way of making tequila that lends back to the beginnings of tequila and when it was imported into the U.S., exported from Mexico. Um, it's cooked in an oven with steam for 30 to 48 hours. Um, it's shredded then. It's Tahona macerated, so it's a big volcanic stone that they pull around with like an electric tractor that crushes the agave and squeezes the juice out. Then they take all those squeezings and they put them up and they drain them and they rinse them and they do it again and then they dispose of it and then that juice goes in to a fermentation tank which is made of pine wood and there naturally fermented for anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 days, depending on what time of year. And then it is cooked twice in a copper pot still. Um, they have three. They do the first pass with two of them, and then the final with the smallest pot still they have. And then it is either rested in stainless steel tanks getting ready for bottling, or it is put into, well, then it would still go into stainless steel, but it comes off at still strength. They don't water it down till right before it's to be bottled. So it will come in at still strength, just like this bottle of tequila here, at 46% or at 92 proof. Um, then it's put into the barrels to become añejo and reposado. Um, from my research, they do añejo first in a first use bourbon barrel. Um, they grind it out, rechar it, put tequila in it, let it rest for 18 months. Yeah, 18 months to become an añejo. And then they do it for 6 months or less. I'd have to go back and look in the book. Or less for reposado. They do not do an extra añejo. They have a hard enough time keeping up with what they got. They put out 4 expressions um, constantly. It's a blanco, reposado, añejo, and a still strength. And then there's a few special ones that they do. They've done single barrels in the past. They've decided that they can't keep up with what they're doing, let alone do single barrels of reposado. So then they do a special at the end of every year. They do a winter blend release. Of course, it takes a while to do that. I have what's left of my 2023 winter blend. It's a reposado at still strength. Um, so what we have in front of me, to my surprise and my joy and luck, I got 5 free samples. I got 5 free samples from the Whiskey Channel. Um, I watch all the tequila channels that I can on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, I would go through all those on a daily basis. But when I've seen everything there is to see, then I will roll over to a whiskey channel. One of two of them that I watch on a regular basis. Um, one of those is Bruzel. If any of you people know who that is, check him out on YouTube. Um, he's he's got to be one of the largest whiskey channels on YouTube. And the other one that I watch is called Bourbon Real Talk, and that's where these samples came from. They took a little vacation, went to Mexico, ended up in Tequila, and went and saw Guillermo Salza at Tequila at Fortaleza, and got to try his tequila. Was very impressed, and so they brought some back. And for the first five responders to blah blah blah, me was number five. And I got a set of samples. So I have samples from this year's and just recently this year's Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, Still Strength, and down here on the end, I have the 2024 Winter Blend, 2023 Winter Blend, 2024. So I was like, I think I'll share them with you guys. So, and then we're going to compare the 2024 and the 2023 Winter Blend. I'll probably have to get another glass, no problem, because I want to put them in each in a separate glass. But we're going to go through most of these with the one glass. I try to refrain from drinking from these, but you will notice that some of them aren't full. No, because it's one of my favorites. Actually, if you look at any of my bottles on my shelf, there ain't one of them that's full. The only full one in here is the Blanco, and that's only because it was a backup and I just emptied the other one. I got a whole slew of empty Fortaleza bottles right down here on the floor. I've said in the past I have plans for those. We'll see someday. Of course, I may end up making the whole bar out of Fortaleza bottles, but who knows? But I have plans for those, and one of the plans, and it's an ongoing process. If you've watched my channel before, I did my own blending, home aging project. As you can see, there's not much left, but I did this with Fortaleza Tequila. It's still very delicious, very fruit forward. Um, if you want to call it, it's my poor man's winter blend. It's pretty good. I'm telling you, it's pretty good. Um, I will do it again, but the next time I do it, we're doing it with Still Strength. And I might give it a few more days and some French oak and some cherry, because that's just going to add more fruit to it. So let's get started, because I love tequila and I love Fortaleza. So, and those of you that know me know that I'm getting ready to go to tequila here in a couple months. And my first stop, as far as the distillery tour, will be Fortaleza Tequila. And then we're going to go see El Tequilino, and we may go over to the Orendine Distillery and check out some Arete. And who knows whatever along the way. And if a good little Mexican friend of mine does what she says she's going to do, I'm going to have a really good time. I enjoy this part of my hobby. Um, it's not just the drinking, it's the exploring part and getting to meet people. I enjoy meeting people. So let's get into the tasting. So we'll start with the Blanco. We're going to start on the lower end of the proof scale, of course, because the only high proofs are the Still Strength and the Winter Blend. So we will start with this Blanco here. And we'll put a little bit into this here glass. And we'll give it a smell. And then we're going to give it a good taste. Of course, I haven't had any tequila as of in the past few hours. Today was my Christmas party at work. And I snuck in a little tequila. Mm-hmm. Just a little. When it brought in one of my bottles of Lalo High Proof to share with my coworkers. They all know I'm nuts about tequila, and I've converted a couple. You know who you are, and we just playing around with it, just like, and got to meet some other coworkers. They're like, "Oh, well, I like tequila. What kind of tequila is that?" It just makes me smile. I love it. So, Fortaleza Blanco. Ooh, I love that smell. Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry, spazzing out for a moment. But you get the cooked agave. You get a minerality. There's a vegetal. I can't put the vegetal note, but maybe a little bit of a lime, just a little citrus note. Oh, it smells so good. I bet it tastes even better. Let's give this a first sip. Wow, lovely. Yep, and the volcanic water. It's just you know that it's made from some of the best quality ingredients they can find because that's what makes the tequila that well. They only use ripe agave. They only use the volcanic water from the volcano. They only do this. They only do that, and it's all done by hand, people. The big boys don't do that. They don't. They have something that they don't even cut. They don't take the cocoyo out. They don't cut that out. They just take the whole pina, then whatever age it is, shred it all up, run it through a diffuser, and make it look like it's tequila. And it sure don't taste like tequila. No, I'm sorry. That's where we all came from. All that's where I came from. Oh yeah, we gotta try me some Jose Cuervo Gold. Oh, don't even don't. That's toilet water now. Sorry, not happening. And this all the other stuff that's out there now that's they add sugar and sweetener and it tastes like vanilla and cotton candy. Tequila doesn't taste like vanilla or cotton candy. It doesn't. It has a sweetness to it, but it has a sweetness more like, well, we know where it comes from. It comes from the cooked agave. It kind of gives it a light caramel. It gives it a light brown sugar, just ever so slightly. It's not that. The sweet potato type of sweetness. Get off my horse. We're talking about Blanco tequila. Let's take another sip. Nice even mouthfeel. It's not overly buttery. It just coats well. It gives you that cooked agave flavor, a little the cooked sweetness. Like I said, there's a vegetal slash grassy note that comes through. Not unpleasant. There's a little bit of anise at the back end, and it goes down easy, smooth. There's a little bit of warmth in the back of the throat, but there's no pepper, like the burning. Um, you look at it coats the glass nicely. It's completely clear. You can see the little tears on the glass. You can see some of the legs. I don't know if I can get yeah. So this is a really really quality tequila. So what's the problem with it? Well, there's no problem with it, and it's actually, as it comes from the distillery, it's reasonably priced. But by the time it makes it to our hands, most of the time, it's gone through this and it's gone through that, and then the price is up to where it is today. Originally, I believe the Blanco was $39 or $49 a bottle. That price now is closer to 80. Is it worth that amount of money? It's worth that amount of money to me, considering the cost of everything has gone up. Shipping, diesel fuel, tariffs, taxes. Everybody wants to make another buck off of it, so it's what it is. But at what normal retail price now is $69 to $79 a bottle for the Blanco, and working its way up. I don't have a lot of bottles. This is basically all of my collection now. My selection. I have had up to 2 bottles apiece. I'm down to 1 bottle of añejo. Well, I'm really down to 1 bottle of everything. Yeah, that's it. I have my homemade bottle, but that's it. I mean, I'm always looking to get back stock because this is what I like to share. This is what I like to, I don't want to say impress people, but I want them to understand this is what real tequila tastes like. Just like Cascoin, just like G4, just like El Tesoro, El Tequilino. This is what real tequila tastes like. And this is the same thing that the newer brands like Orete and Lost Lore and Yayo. This is what they want to, this is what they strive to be. One is to be completely additive free and to be unique and to be traditional. We all do traditional in a different way. Sometimes it's with a roller mill, sometimes it's with a Tahona. Sometimes it's a mix of both. Um, you know, Using the modern methods doesn't make it a bad product. It just makes it different. It's when we completely strip the plant of all the good stuff that comes to you in this glass. That's just cooked agave and distilled. It's simple as that. No extra added things. Agave, water, yeast. That's it. No more. Mm. This is the basis for all the rest. And it's just delicious. Is it everybody's go to tequila? No, it's not. Some people don't like the minerality that's in there because of the way it's handled, the way it's crushed. Um, but one of the major differences that really excites me is that the Blanco is watered down to the 80 proof, um, to the 40%. When it comes off at still strength, the flavors that I like out of the Blanco, then on the still strength, are amplified tremendously. The reasons the still strength was made, and they were the first ones to use that, at least that name, going with the higher proof. It was the bartenders. They said, "Hey, can you leave it at still strength? It's not that it's disappearing into the drinks, but it's not as prevalent. If we could have it at still strength and still put it in at the same rate that we were putting the regular Blanco in, I think it would stand out better." So they did some experimenting with it and found out, yeah, it does. The flavor of it just really comes through in that little bit of extra proof. So that's why we have that. And then when they do the winter blend, the blending of 3 barrels just, it helps that marriage of all those flavors together just really shine through. So let's move on to reposado. So reposado, as you know, is anything uh, up to a year, 6 months up to a year. Yeah, and anything over a year is an añejo. I think I poured a little heavy on this one. Oh well, it's mine. Again, I want to thank the folks at Bourbon Real Talk. Um, when I found out that I won, I was like, "Oh, you kidding me?" And I went on the website and looked, and sure enough, there's my name. So I'm like, "Okay, cool. I know what I can do with that." Oh, look at this nice color. This is the Reposado. This is probably one of the earlier runs off a barrel. So, like I said, they do the añejo first. They dump it. They refill it. They don't scrape it and rechar it. They refill it with tequila, and then put it back in. Fill it back in the barrel, and then make the first run of reposado. And this is the color that usually shines through. This nice golden hay color. It's just, oh, it's just a wonderful color for a reposado. And there's the barrel influence right off the bat. It's right there. And it's so good. Now you're starting to get in some of the barrel notes of the cinnamon, the baking spices. They're light, but they're there on the nose. You still get the cooked agave. It's a little more amped up due to the barrel influence. Let's give her a taste. Mm. Num 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 num. Sit there and savor on that for a while. Um, Reposado was my first introduction to Fortaleza, more on availability than anything else. I happened to come across the bottle at one of the local liquor stores that no longer even gets it now, and so I bought it and took it home and tried it and went, oh my! Oh, I started sharing it with family, going, we don't know tequila till you don't know it till you try this. We thought herder at the time was the tequila. As soon as we tasted Fortaleza, that was out the window. Bye bye herder. And this just started the ball rolling on this journey into tequila for me. Um, you know, I and of course, and the entire time, I'm not just looking for Fortaleza. I got my first 3 bottles of Suerte that way. I started getting into Cascaween. I started getting into G4. Just like, oh, added free, added to, oh, let me try that one. So this started it, and it will always be there. Always be there. Great notes on this thing. Yeah, the baking spices, the cooked agave. Again, mouth feels about the same. Maybe a little more velvety due to the wood, maybe softening up a little bit. Finish is about the same amount of time, same feeling. Nice little just warmth back in the back of the throat. Just no burn, no burn, guys, no. And yes, I've had what 3 sips of tequila so far. No, this is how this tequila works for me, and it's very delicious. Finish this one off, and we'll go to añejo. Mm-mm-mm. I never get tired of that. Never get tired of it. It's just delicious. It's like I said, it's what everything I wanted tequila to taste like, and then it opening the door to all the rest because none of them are the same. We've talked about this before. All the other tequila brands. Like G4 puts out 3, 4, 5 different tequilas. We did a blind tasting of G4, and I used Reposado because at the time that was what I could find. But I did G4 Reposado, and I did uh, Peralta Reposado and Don Vicente. They're completely different. They're the same plant. It's the same. They still they use their big Frankenstein Tahona, which is steel, not rock, and it does all the extraction that way, and the fermentation is the same in the same vat, but the water is different. Maybe the time that it's in the fermentation vat, and then the cooking is the same. So the biggest difference is the water. Biggest difference can be what time of year it is and what agave comes through the door. Again, it's going to be ripe. So, añejo. So añejo, especially if it's first fill, is going to be rather dark. I'm not sure that this is what this one is. Oh man, looks like it's probably a little bit darker than the Reposado, but usually about 18 months, a little over a year is how long this sits in the barrel. And you'll see it is a little bit darker than the Reposado. Um, and they do vary in color. Um, as an example, we're going to pull the bottles up and I'll show you this as well. This is an añejo, and you can see it's about the same color as what's in my glass. And this is an añejo. I mean, a reposado. This reposado is actually lighter than what was in my glass before. And if you can put these side by side, I'm trying to see if I can get light on them well enough. The reposado is way lighter. You probably can't see it in the camera, and that's because my lighting really kind of sucks. But no, that's not working either. But it is considerably lighter. So that's just shows you the more like the time it spends in the barrel. That's all. Not much more than that. But that more time in the barrel provides us with way more flavors. And this is where the more exposure to the wood and the time tends to bring some fruit notes out and really changes this from being a tequila that you're going to put into a mixed drink. This you're going to want to drink neat because you want to experience all the flavors that the barrel and the tequila can provide, and that's the specialness of the añejo. Guillermo, in most of his interviews, will joke. He goes, "I use a 6-inch wine glass and I fill it to the top," and say that's not Cabernet. So let's give this bubbly sip. Mm. Fruit sweetness right up front. Wow. There's the barrel. Have that little bit of the wood tannins. Not super strong, but it's there. And then just the mellowness. There is no burn in this at all. There's no. I'm not even getting the hint of warmth at this point. Of course, we're 9 sips in. Of course, we're not. But this is a very enjoyable sit down after dinner tequila that you want to sit around with friends and enjoy. Now I'm getting the heat, right? And so it's easy going. It's a nice drink to sip neat in a glass. It's that kind of tequila. And so we just go through going through these motions of doing the things that we need to do, and um, just enjoying this tequila. And I'm at a loss for words because All I want to do is take another drink. So let's take another sip. If you guys want to see this a little more up close, the tears all over the glass. If I can get a few legs going there. Yeah, there we go. I'm running down the glass. So I mean, this is just sweet. It's enjoyable. I have several friends of mine that this is the Fortaleza they only want to drink. They only want to drink because that part of it, the sweetness, the fruity, and then you still get everything you get from the Blanco tequila in here, and it just this is what's turned them to a point of getting away from the bourbon, getting to something a little bit lighter, but yet has all those flavors along with it. And so this Guillermo, I know this is your favorite. Salute, my friend. Mm. Put a needle in me and just stick it in straight IV. Wow, love it, love it. I just, I just keep finding there's more and more things I like about it. Not that I dislike anything from anybody else, but I like this one. I love this one. But we're going to get into some things. The next thing we're getting into is the still strength. That, my friends, that's where we want to go. Let's move on to the next section. Oh, that's good stuff. Wouldn't beat that with a steak. So now we come to still strength. 92 proof, 46%. Again, this was created because bartenders asked for it. They didn't want the tequila to disappear into a mixed drink. Whether it's a margarita, paloma, or whatever. Those are the only two I ever make. So, but I guess if you were to make a tequila old fashioned, you're going to probably use the añejo. But you know, there's just so many other things that you could use this for. So anyway, me, I just drink it neat because I want to taste everything there is to enjoy about it. So let's put a little bit of the still strength in here because I have a good idea what's coming up next. Yep. So we're back to the Blanco. We're back to that Blanco aromas. The cooked agave, the little vegetal note. It's just smells delicious. But there's one thing that's a little different, and that's because we have a little more alcohol in this here liquid. And so we're gonna give her a good sip here, and watch my face turn about 5 different shades of red, just trying to explain what what I'm tasting next. The cooked agave, a little bit of citrus, the grassy notes, the minerality. It's not just sitting about here. That proof point just went up to about here, and it's all right up front. Yes, you have the higher proof. Yes, you feel that in the back of your mouth, going down your throat, ever so gently. Because we're not looking at over 100 proof. We're not looking at 110 proof. We're looking at 92. And that nice little 12% jump. And proof is just, oh, wow. Why don't they just make it all this way? Well, it kind of, because at 80 proof, And as a straight sipper, drinking it neat, the 80 proof is just easy. I mean, easy. And this for me in introducing people to additive free tequilas and what the variances are in flavors. If you bring this into the mix, is it, it's not going to be everybody's favorite. It doesn't do well in blinds. There's ones that have more floral notes or more vegetal notes or whatever. But for a new drinker, not necessarily some of us aficionados, this is it's completely alien to the tequilas that we had when we were younger or what we drink now. Um, they can't. Where did those flavors come from? That doesn't taste like the Casamigos that I drink. No, because it's real tequila, and I can show you a whole bunch more that'll blow your mind on what real tequila tastes like. So get to drink some more. The still strength. Like I said, I'll make a drink. My drink with it is 99% of the time is a ranch water. I love the lime and the tequila and some ice and some carbonated Topo Chico water in there. It's very refreshing. It's just, but that's especially when I don't want anything sweet. You know, if I want something sweet, of course it's going to be a margarita. It's going to have the Contro and the agave syrup and all of that, and I like that. Don't get me wrong, to a point, and then I don't maybe I don't want something quite so sweet. Well, then I'll switch to a Paloma and the grapefruit juice. Oh my god, yeah, it's not sweet, but it gives you a swift kick in the pants. And like this is so delicious. And again, we're back to refreshing. And then when I've had enough of that, I'm gonna go to a ranch water. Um, you know, and I'll have a ranch water or at least have some Topo Chico and lime as the cleansing for my mouth, which is what's in my glass tonight. And it just if I want to add a little salt to it, hey, I'll just take a little, just put a little across the top, just sprinkle, and it just adds that little bit to it, and delicious, delicious stuff. I am so looking forward to going to Mexico. And when I do, I'm taking my phone, I'm taking my camera set up. We're gonna do some videos of the places that we visit. That's my plan. Um, I don't whether we're going to hit them all. I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. In some cases, if Mary Carmen has her way, I'm going to be visiting everybody and their brother was in the short amount of time I'm in Jalisco. So we'll see. We'll see. I know what I really want to do, what I'm planning on doing is I would like to go at least stop by Cascaween on the way back to Guadalajara. And if I can work it, I may head out to Vivanco to go see my friend Sergio Cruz. He's only friends with me on Facebook. And I did wish him a happy birthday. I did. And he replied back. We've never met face to face. We've never met on camera. But I like the dude. I like his attitude. It's a little bit like me, except he doesn't speak no English. And I really don't speak no Spanish. My Spanish is good enough to order food and a beer. The great North Texas way of doing things. Not that I'm from North Texas. No, no, no. I'm more of a Yankee than that. But I did live in North Texas for quite a while. So, anyway, back to tequila. Yes, I was stalling. I'm going to get drunk before this video is done. But let's finish this puppy off, and then we're going to move on to the creme de la creme winter blends. Some people like them. Most people like them. Most people have very varied opinions about the different ones. I believe it started in 2019, all the way to this year. They have had different barrels each year, at least variants of barrels. Um, and last year's with the American oak, French oak, and the Chahandra. Oh, I love that. And if I could have got a hold of some of that rum that was put in after they dumped the tequila out. I'm not a big rum drinker, but I'm pretty sure I would have liked that one. Just because it said Fortaleza on it. Yeah, But I think it would have been interesting to try. Um, Salud, last of the still strength. Now I said when I'm going to do the winter blends, we're going to use 2 glasses. Just a second. Get down here and get my glass box. And for those of you, is there really a glass to drink tequila out of? Well, yes, there is. Um, the Rydell came up with a glass that's it's the official tequila glass, and it is a good glass. Um, but they're kind of expensive, and for some of us, you're using a Glencairn. That's not out of the ordinary. That's a very good glass to use because of its construction is designed to bring those notes up to the edge of, up to the level of the glass, just like they do in whiskey. It's no different. But to be a little more elegant, we use tequila tasting glasses. Something of this shape. Sometimes the flute is a little longer. Sometimes the stem is a little longer. I was fortunate enough to be given a set of glasses from Tequila Ocho that are a little more durable than these nice little thin ones. But accidents happen. One of them got broke, and the other one's way over there on the other side of the room, and I'm not going to reach for it. But it's engraved with Tequila Ocho on it, and I'll say that as a souvenir. I was using them on a regular basis. If you see some of my earlier videos, you see that ever presently. But I bought these from Amazon. They weren't all that expensive. I got 4 glasses. Um, they do the job just as well as anything else. Um, they're not crystal; they are glass, and I enjoy them. They're not overly tall. They're not. See, it's still got a nice little stem handle to hold on to and swirl. Do a little sniff sniff. But um, for me, they do exactly what I need them to do. And like I said, they're not all that expensive. Those are on Amazon. I mean, there's ones that are more. There's ones that have little fluted edges on them, and there's ones that are a little deeper. Um, and then you can go into the actual mezcal tasting glass. Yeah, those, and that's a whole different. You go to more traditional glassware for tequila. Hey, this is what I got. And that again, use what you have. If it's a rocks glass, if it's a shot glass, just just take your time. Maybe you can pick up Glencairns fairly cheap as well on Amazon or anywhere. Get you a Glencairn glass and start tasting your tequila with those. So first thing we're going to do is in my actual left hand, which is your right hand, we're going to put the new 2024 Winter Blend. And put a nice amount in here. And then we're going to pull out 2023 Winter Blend. And we're going to put a little nice amount in here. All right. We'll move this puppy up front. I bought that bottle to save, and we didn't open that until my 59th birthday. So I actually sat on that sucker for about 6 months before we ever opened it. And I'm was not disappointed. Was not disappointed. All right. 2023 color. That's a nice reposado color. That nice golden hay color. It's light. It's not a heavy color, but it's a nice color. And now looking at the 2024 blend, it's way lighter. It's still got a little golden hay color to it, but it's lighter. It's not been affected by the barrel near as much as far as coloring of it. You ever smell? This is the 24. Nice reposados nosing here. It's just, it's compared to a regular reposado, it's not even close. You cannot compare this to the regular repo. There's just too much going on in here. See if my nose can pick out anything specific. I'm getting fruit, not necessarily citrus either. That's just heavenly. I mean, it's just soft, sweet fruit notes. To pick out any particular? No, not really. It's not necessarily like cherry or to that nature. It's just a sweet fruit. I can't put my finger on it. Sorry, can't do that. It's not that prevalent on the nose to me. Let's go 23. Cooked agaves there. Yep, still get it. It just the first thing that popped in when I popped that bottle open and took the first neck pour out of it was apple, crisp red apple. And even as oxidized as that bottle is, um, it took a little bit, but it showed its head. It's still there. That crisp red apple as far as a fruit note on the nose. That aroma is there. It's it's just so sweet and smelling. Not overly. It's just so nice and faint and gentle. Um, which one do I do first? Eeny, meeny. Let's just do one. We'll go dominant hand. So this is the 2023. Mm. Mouth feels buttery. Coats the mouth nicely. I mean, it's there. It's still there. But I get the apple. I get the sweet fruits. I get the sweet agave. Um, I know with the French oak brings in those fruit flavors, and then that rum cask finish just brings the sweetness to another level in the back, and it's just easy going down, which is surprisingly at the 92 proof how nice and easy this is to drink. Um, I'm going to cleanse my palate before I go to the 2024. Mm, that's good. That is real good. It's different. Um, what is that? It's right at the back of the palate. It was. I'm a little befuddled on that one. I mean, we're hitting it again. Proof's a little more prevalent on this one. Of course, it's newer. This one, the 23 is oxidized because it's been about that much in the bottle for at least 4 months. But I get more of the baking spices. Um, Nutmeg maybe, but there's like a, I don't know. I'm gonna say fig, like the filling out of a fig Newton on the fruit flavor. It's that kind of a, which is what, a dried apricot, but oh, that's 2024, and it's got a little pepper on the back end. You know, like I said, the proof, because it's not as oxidized as my 2023. Um, it's it's going to have a little more punch to it, but that's delicious, and it's probably going to be my only taste of 2024. As of this filming, there have only been one sighting so far of the 2024 Fortaleza Winter Blend in the Kansas City area. Just showed up today. I'm sure if there's one, there's more. But availability for this for me, unless I'm lucky, sometimes I am. But if I have one of my many friends that are out there and they're able to find a little cache of bottles, especially of the Winter Blend, um, hopefully I'll be able to get one. And if I do, I'll share it with you guys as well. But as of this is the end of my tasting, my taste through a Fortaleza tequila. It's not the end of my story for Fortaleza. It's still to continue on, and I am so looking forward to this trip. Um, if you want to call it bucket list trip, it's a bucket list trip, but you know it's something that's been in the planning in my brain for years, and this just being able to come to fruition for me, thanks to my sister and my brother-in-law Brad, um, who just playing along with me, and hey, we're having fun. That's the whole goal, folks. It's the whole goal with tequila. It's all one big family. Let's have some fun with it. Let's do some experimenting. Let's find some fun stuff to try. And just live the experience, because, like I always say, it's tequila time, and we'll see you soon. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you after the first of the year. Bye bye.